The Galactic Convention Hall buzzed with anticipation as representatives from 47 species gathered for the ceremonial Apex presentation. It was a tradition older than most civilizations present. Each species would introduce the apex predator from their homeworld, a living testament to the evolutionary gauntlet they had survived. Victoria Chun adjusted her uniform nervously, her fingers trembling slightly as she held the standard-issue transport carrier. Inside, completely oblivious to the historic moment, a small orange tabby cat named Mr. Whiskers yawned and began grooming his paw. "Are you absolutely certain about this?" Caleb Rodriguez whispered beside her, his dark eyes scanning the enormous creatures already on display. The Crithian representative stood beside a creature that resembled a 12-foot mantis made of living obsidian. The Vexorian delegation had brought something that looked like a cross between a bear and a living asteroid, its crystalline hide refracting light in threatening patterns. "Command was very specific," Victoria replied, though her voice lacked conviction. "Earth's apex predator. Technically, housecats qualify." Caleb raised an eyebrow. "We could have brought a polar bear. A great white shark. Hell, even a saltwater crocodile would have been less embarrassing than the species that successfully colonized every human settlement across 6 continents." Victoria interrupted. "The micropredator with a 96% hunt success rate? The only animal that domesticated itself by choice and can still revert to full predatory mode in a single generation." "Fair point," Caleb conceded. "But look at them looking at us." Indeed, dozens of multifaceted eyes, optical sensors, and incomprehensible sensory organs had turned toward the human delegation. The murmuring across various translation devices carried an unmistakable tone of confusion. Ambassador Vijkara of the Vexorian Empire approached, her translator rendering her crystalline vocalizations into perfect English. "Humans, we have heard much of your species' remarkable aggression and adaptability. We anticipate your apex predator with great interest." Her massive head tilted downward toward the carrier. "Is it inside that container?" "Yes, Ambassador," Victoria said, straightening her spine. "I see." The tone was impossible to read. "Shall we proceed?" The ceremony began with the Draxilians, who presented a serpentine creature that could phase through solid matter and apparently fed on electromagnetic radiation. Each species presented their apex predator with evident pride, explaining the evolutionary pressures that had forged these ultimate hunters. Finally, it was humanity's turn. Victoria carried the carrier to the central platform, while Caleb activated the holographic display. Every species leaned forward, literally or metaphorically, as Victoria opened the carrier door. Mr. Whiskers emerged with the casual arrogance only a cat could manage. He was small, perhaps 8 pounds, with bright orange fur and white paws. He sat down, yawned enormously, and began cleaning his face with one paw. The silence was deafening. Then, from somewhere in the Crithian section, a sound that the translator rendered as laughter. Victoria felt her cheeks burn. Beside her, Caleb triggered the holographic display. "Ladies, gentlemen, and honored beings," he began, his voice steady despite the ripple of amusement spreading through the hall. "I present Felis Catus, Earth's most successful predator." "That is not a predator," the Crithian representative clicked. "That is barely a mouthful." "Is it?" Victoria asked quietly. She had prepared for this. "Computer, display Earth historical data. Feline impact assessment." The holographic display flickered to life, showing a 3-dimensional graph. Felis Catus and its immediate ancestors are responsible for the extinction of approximately 63 species on Earth. They have successfully invaded every ecosystem humans have touched. They hunt for sport, not necessity. Their prey drive is so intense that they will hunt even when completely satiated. The laughter died down slightly. Caleb continued. "This predator has a flexible spine that allows rotation impossible for most species. Retractable claws that remain sharp through minimal maintenance. Night vision 6 times more effective than baseline humans. Hearing range spanning 10 octaves. And reflexes," he nodded to Victoria. She pulled a laser pointer from her pocket and flicked it across the floor. Mr. Whiskers exploded into motion, moving from sitting stillness to full predatory sprint in a fraction of a second. His paw struck where the red had been with precision that registered on the motion sensors. Reaction time, 70 milliseconds, the computer announced. Acceleration, 0 to 30 miles per hour in 3 seconds. Note, subject is currently classified as elderly by species standards and overweight by optimal health metrics. Several species shifted uncomfortably. But here's what makes Felis catus truly apex, Victoria said, warming to her subject. She knelt down, and Mr. Whiskers immediately trotted over, rubbing against her hand and purring. This predator looked at humans, persistence hunters, tool users, the species that climbed to the top of Earth's food chain, and decided we were useful. Caleb picked up the thread. They domesticated themselves approximately 10,000 years ago, not through submission, but through partnership. They chose to live with us, hunt our pests, and allow us to provide shelter. And they did it while maintaining every single one of their predatory capabilities. They trained us, Victoria added, taught humanity to respond to specific vocalizations, to provide food on demand, to grant them territory within our own dwellings. They weaponized something Earth's most dangerous predator is vulnerable to cuteness. Mr. Whiskers chose that moment to roll onto his back, exposing his fluffy belly while making eye contact with the nearest delegates. Observe, Caleb said. What you're seeing is a calculated display designed to lower threat perception. But note the positioning. Ears forward, pupils dilated, rear legs coiled. This is not submission. This is a trap. Any creature that touches that exposed belly will be seized by all 4 sets of claws and bitten repeatedly. Ambassador Zijkara moved closer, her sensors scanning Mr. Whiskers thoroughly. Remarkable. The psychological warfare implications alone. They conquered Earth not through strength, but through strategy, Victoria concluded. Every human dwelling on Earth contains at least a 60% probability of housing one or more of these predators. 600 million of them live among us. They own us, not the other way around. The hall was silent now, but it was a different silence. Calculating. Respectful, the Crithian representative clicked thoughtfully. Humanity survived evolution alongside a predator that hunted them psychologically. This explains much about your species' paranoia and strategic thinking. Caleb grinned. Actually, they barely bothered hunting us. They found easier prey. We were just useful. Mr. Whiskers meowed, a sound that needed no translation. It was the universal call of a predator demanding tribute. Victoria pulled a treat from her pocket and offered it. The cat took it with delicate precision, then returned to grooming himself, completely unconcerned with the 47 civilizations watching him. Ambassador Vichkara's translator hummed with what might have been admiration. Humans, your apex predator is acceptable. As they left the stage, Caleb leaned toward Victoria. We're never going to hear the end of this, are we? Probably not, she agreed, watching Mr. Whiskers settle back into his carrier with regal indifference. But at least they're taking us seriously now. Behind them, the Galactic Convention had erupted into animated discussion about Earth's most unexpected apex predator and the species that had been chosen by them. Mr. Whiskers purred contentedly, having done absolutely nothing and somehow still conquered a room full of the galaxy's most dangerous beings. Just another day in the life of Felis Catus.